So we've made it to Saktang, the most remote village in eastern Bhutan. Amazing stories of yetis here, and we're outside the temple of Aum Jomo, who's the patron saint, the deity of the Brokpa people. And she escorted them on their migration from Tibet in the 13th century, a migration for which yetis were actually central, believe it or not. So they were getting harassed by yetis on the way down from Tibet. Aum Jomo not only subdued the yetis, but then co-opted them and turned them into a kind of protective spirit to bring the people safely into Saktang, right?
Yeah, and I mean, it's a fascinating story, and it shows the centrality of the yeti to Brokpa culture and history. We've also heard of the yeti in a very different light. We've heard stories of people being rendered deaf-mute after encountering yetis in the forest. We've also heard a positive side of the yeti as a kind of protector of the forest and the mountains. So it's almost like a moral device, both good and bad, that can be invoked, you know, to explain sudden deaths or even murders, perhaps.
Yeah, I mean, there definitely has been that more folkloric element to things. But I was also struck today, we met a gentleman who has been appointed by the fourth king as the kind of official yeti whisperer, I guess. He goes around collecting footprints, hairs. He has a network of informers from other villages and sends them into the king. And apparently in the royal palace in Thimphu now are a whole bunch of footprint plaster cast, hairs, etc.
A whole yeti archive, you could say.
Absolutely.
The problem is it's probably unreachable for us. I mean, that line that we've used across Bhutan to such effect, we're with the BBC, still might not be powerful enough to get us into the palace.